Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums. So I am decorating the mini album I made for the Chaps paper collection. I am using big sheets of paper. I'm not breaking it down very much because, mainly because in my mind I envision this as a heritage mini album, meaning you're going to have photos of either many generations or older photos or just different size photos primarily. And so you'll see there's just a couple of places with photo mats. For instance, here I've got photo mats and they're great for a 4x6 photo, but you can put perhaps two 3x4s or 4x4 photos on that one page. One just will go over where the decorative paper is on the top or the bottom, depending on which one we're looking at. It sort of breaks up the this little waterfall that I have on both sides of this page. There's obviously three waterfalls or three panels, and so on both sides now that's 6 places for photos, including the second side, the right side and the left side. Now that's 12 places, plus the base page, 13, 14, 15 with the flap. I mean, you can get a lot of photos right here. Now this Dutch blue cardstock matches the collection nicely. I did ink around the edges in black just to tone it down a little bit. I loved this paper here. Again, you can put the photo right on the top of that paper. This is where I've got the pop-up element. So I do have a video coming up. It's cards using the same paper, and it shows even more detailed how to make those little pop-up places. But anyhow, I'm putting my little decorative elements. Some will go in between those two cubes because it's 2 inches by 6. Scored 3 times, so it'll fold into squares, half-inch squares, nice and even. And this will allow me to put the elements at different places on here. I'm also fussy cutting something else. I glue it onto the black cardstock and then cut it with the cardstock. It just makes it stronger. And, you know, you want this to last over time. You don't want your fussy cut elements to be weak and wimpy and bend and whatever. So I'll add these other ones. Now glue those 2 cubes together and add something in the back there. And there we go. All right, I liked this paper. It's, you know, antique looking. The front of it has the motorcycles, but I didn't want to have too many motorcycles to just overtake the whole page. So I did use some of the back side of this. And you'll notice I do that a lot with this mini album. The accent piece will be the front of the paper that's got the most of the decoration. And then the back side is going to be where I put, I mean, it just gives you a good spot for photo mats. Of course, now I take it all back because this VW paper was gorgeous. And the B-side, actually I think the Volkswagens were the B-side. Oh, the B-side still was pretty busy. So I just left that. But they were adorable. And because the pattern is small, you still could use that to put photos on and it wouldn't detract from the photos. I cut my paper about a 3/16 of an inch smaller than the page. So that allows 3/32 of an inch on each side. I want a little bit more than a 1/16 of an inch, but less than an 1/8 of an inch. So 3/32. Here's another example of the paper. The B side was perfect. That A side was really busy. I wanted the B side in the back of this pocket. I struggled to get this one piece in. It really didn't want to go in. And then I couldn't cut the paper in such a way that I had all the elements that I wanted, so I decided just to put the plain paper in the front and fussy cut some elements and add them inside those triangular pockets. I did want to use the A side of the paper somewhere, so you see it on the front of the pocket and the base page, but then I used the B side for the flaps. Again, it breaks up all of that busyness of the paper. This little piece, I didn't use very many of the labels or the cut aparts, but I did use this one. It's actually 3 layers. It's the decorative paper, which is on a black circle, and then the back is more decorative paper, or maybe it was a white circle, I don't remember. But that gave me room to put a magnet on, and that'll help close it. Now, I loved this rust paper. I just loved the texture of it. The back side of it, I wasn't really able to use. There's one piece that I could use, but it was sort of a montage of different gas stations and cars, and I just wasn't able to cut it in such a way that it was useful. Although there was that diamond plate matched very well because there were some pieces of gray in that rust color paper, so I was able to have that as coordinating paper to go with this rust. And it helped break up the rust, and it gave you sort of a tone-on-tone pattern. So I liked that for a pocket inside. So now this piece I was able to cut out of the back side of the rust paper. There is a magnet on half of that, and so that is what will hold the paper together. We're back with this blue with the gold on there and the bourbon or whiskey or whatever it is. I wish someone would tell me because I don't know. And I kept some of that Dutch blue cardstock for inside of the flaps. And that makes a nice, just a nice montage. The gear paper matched really nicely with the blue paper. And I love that gear paper. That was fabulous. All right, let's do the covers. So I have blue as the first layer, and then this piece, I think this was from the golf, from the golf paper. I was going to actually use the golf paper, but then I decided, you could still use the trees. I don't golf, so I guess that's why that golf paper didn't appeal to me. So that's the back side. This is the spine. Now this is incorrect. The black is at the top. You think that's trees, but it's not. It's just inking. So that is correct. So now here is the tunnel front that I am gluing on. It actually doesn't get glued on perfectly, but I don't think anyone notices besides me. I used some score tape sheet I had left to put this on. I probably should have just used wet glue because that way it could, I could make sure it was even. So here's the pocket for the inside to front cover, and that matches nicely with page 1. And that is it. That is how I decorated the Chaps Mini Album. Again, I don't have measurements. I don't do measurements for most mini albums. So anyhow, that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fabulous day.